On our planet, there are creatures that cause an instant, almost animalistic fear in people. The body freezes, the heart tightens, and the mind demands one thing: to run. These creatures survive glaciers, catastrophes, and to this day remain among the most perfect hunters on Earth. Snakes. The fear of them is hardwired into us at the level of instinct. But what if I told you that on our planet there are places where snakes are intentionally gathered by the thousands, and sometimes by the hundreds of thousands? Why? What are these places, and why do people go there themselves, despite the mortal danger? We will talk about this. Subscribe to the channel, it will be interesting. The fear of snakes is perhaps one of the oldest fears that humanity knows. It arose long before cities, the alphabet, and states. Our ancestors lived alongside these beasts in forests and savannas, and those who feared them survived more often than others. So this fear became our part. It passes from parents to children, almost like an instinct. Scientists conducted experiments with infants and toddlers. They reacted to snakes in images much faster and stronger than to any other animals. The brain is literally programmed to notice a snake before the consciousness has time to comprehend what it has seen. This is not a weakness and not a prejudice. This is an ancient survival mechanism. And yet, humanity has not just adapted to living alongside snakes. It has learned to use them, to collect, to breed, to get venom, to feed entire nations, to turn them into a spectacle and even into a religion. The history of the relationship between man and snake is much richer and more complex than simple fear. Let us start with science. One of the best-known centres in the world for working with snakes is located in Brazil. This is the Butantan Institute in São Paulo. Founded in the year 1900, it has turned into one of the key scientific institutions on the planet for the study of venoms and the development of antivenoms. The Butantan Institute did not arise out of a good life. At the end of the 19th century, southern Brazil was being actively developed by people. Workers were laying railroads, cutting down jungles, erecting farms. And they were dying from snake bites in huge numbers. The authorities were forced to find a way out. Thus, the institute appeared. Today, more than 80,000 snakes are kept on the territory of Butantan. This is not a zoo or an attraction, although visitors are also allowed here. First of all, it is a colossal scientific laboratory where medicines and serums are produced from snake venom. Every year, the Institute releases millions of doses of drugs that save lives throughout Latin America. The process of obtaining venom is called milking. A specialist takes a snake, presses its head to the edge of a special vessel, and forces it to squeeze its jaws. The venom flows into the container. This is extremely dangerous work that requires vast experience and full concentration. One mistake can cost a life. Butantan employees do this every day. Venoms of different snakes are used in different ways. Antivenoms are made from some. From others, after complex processing, components are obtained for the treatment of heart diseases, blood clotting disorders, and some forms of cancer. The snake, which most people consider a deadly enemy, has in fact already saved millions of lives. A similar story happened in Thailand. In Bangkok, the snake farm at the Queen Saovabha Memorial Institute is in operation. This institution was founded back in the year 1923 and to this day remains one of the largest producers of antivenoms in Asia. The Queen Saovabha Institute is located right in the heart of Bangkok, a few minutes' walk from bustling shopping districts. This in itself strikes the imagination. Hundreds of cobras, vipers, and other dangerous species live next to skyscrapers and shopping centres. Every day, demonstration snake milking sessions take place at the Institute. Specialists work with a cobra right in front of the viewers. This is done not only for the sake of tourists, although they also come here. This is part of the educational work. Residents of Thailand, especially from rural areas, must understand how to behave when meeting a snake and where to go for help. Thailand occupies a special place in the world of snake breeding. In addition to scientific institutions, python farms are widespread here. Their goals are completely different. This is a commercial breeding of snakes for skin, meat, and trade. Pythons in Thailand. This is a big business with a long history. Python skin is used for the production of bags, belts, shoes, and other expensive products. The market is huge: Europe, Japan, the USA, the Middle East. That is why farms arose primarily as a response to this demand. Thousands of pythons can be simultaneously kept on such farms, from very small to huge ones. Interestingly, breeding pythons on farms, according to a number of researchers, may turn out to be a more environmentally friendly way of producing leather than traditional animal husbandry. Pythons almost do not need water, eat rarely, and tolerate captivity well. Of course, such production has its own problems, including of an ethical nature. Vietnam and China went even further. There exist so-called snake villages and farms where snakes are raised like ordinary livestock for the sake of meat, bile, blood, and the needs of traditional medicine. In some villages, almost every family keeps snakes in special pits or cages. Lammat village in Vietnam has been famous for snake restaurants for several centuries. Foodies and curious tourists come here specifically. Cobra dishes are served here, fried meat, rich soup, and those who wish can be poured a shot of tincture in which a live snake heart is right there beating. For some, it is an exquisite delicacy. For others, it is a shocking sight. In China, the tradition of using snakes in medicine dates back more than 2,000 years. Snake bile, blood, fat, and skin are used in traditional Chinese medicine for a wide variety of ailments. The demand for such products is huge, especially among the older generation, and this exactly has given rise to a whole industry of snake farms. The Chinese province of Zhejiang, and especially the surroundings of the city of Zhejiang, is known as the world capital of snake farming. In a relatively small territory, hundreds of farms are concentrated here, where millions of snakes are kept. The annual turnover of this industry is hundreds of millions of dollars. These farms work practically like a conveyor belt. Snakes are bred, fed frogs and small rodents, then slaughtered and processed. Part of the production goes to the domestic market, part goes for export. Production is organised on an industrial basis and differs little from the point of view of logic from an ordinary poultry farm. Everything is arranged differently in India. There exists a cooperative of snake catchers from the Irula people. This is a small tribe from the south of the country that has hunted snakes for thousands of years. The British colonial authorities declared such hunting outlawed, which caused the Irulas huge damage. They lost their main source of income. In the year 1978, when hunting snakes for skin was finally banned in India, the Irula cooperative appeared. Its main task is the extraction of snake venom for the production of antivenoms. Catchers go out into the field, take a snake with their bare hands or with minimal tools, milk the venom, and then release it back. The Irula cooperative has played a huge role in reducing mortality from snake bites in India. The country holds one of the first places in the world in the number of such deaths. Every year, tens of thousands of people die from them. The venom extracted by the Irulas enters laboratories where serums are produced from it, which are available even in the most remote corners of the country. The Irulas keep a special knowledge about snakes. They are able to detect a snake where an ordinary person will notice absolutely nothing. They know how to read tracks, catch movement in the grass, recognize the presence of a snake by the behavior of small animals. This knowledge has been passed down within the tribe for centuries and is not recorded in any textbook. Australia, famous for its venomous inhabitants, also has experience in organised work with snakes. The Australian Reptile Park is located in the state of New South Wales in the city of Gosford. This is not just a zoo. Here, venom is produced for the creation of antivenoms that are used throughout the country.
More species of venomous snakes live in Australia than anywhere else on Earth. And although deaths from bites here are significantly fewer than in Asia, this is directly connected with the well-established production of antivenoms. The Australian Reptile Park is one of the key participants in this system. The park is open to visitors and conducts demonstration feedings and demonstrations. But in parallel, serious scientific work is conducted here. Employees regularly take venom from taipans, vipers, brown snakes and other species. This venom enters the laboratory, where vital drugs are created from it. Now let us talk about places where snakes gather, not because people want it so, but because nature itself creates the necessary conditions for this. The most famous example in North America is the Narcisse snake dens in the Canadian province of Manitoba. Every spring in Narcisse, a spectacle unfolds that both fascinates and scares. Hundreds of thousands of red-sided garter snakes crawl out of wintering dens after long colds. In separate years, up to 75,000 snakes can be observed simultaneously in a relatively small area. The reason for such an accumulation is simple from a biological point of view. In this area of Manitoba, there are deep limestone crevices where in winter the temperature remains stable. Snakes, not capable of producing heat on their own, flock here from all around to survive the harsh Canadian winter. In the spring, when the ground warms up, thousands of snakes crawl out practically at once. Males appear first and wait for females. When a female finally gets out to the surface, she is immediately surrounded by a ball of dozens of males, each of whom strives to be closer than the others. Scientists call this phenomenon a mating ball. The sight is so wondrous that Narcisse has turned into a tourist spot. People specifically come here from all over the world to see this with their own eyes. The local economy received an unexpected source of income: hotels, excursions, souvenirs. Snakes, which many are afraid of, have become the breadwinners of an entire district. Similar phenomena happen in other parts of the world. In mountain regions of North America, rattlesnakes gather in wintering pits in groups of several hundred individuals. In Central Asia, in rock crevices, snake wintering sites are found where representatives of several species coexist. Nature knows how to create its own snake farms. Snake Island off the coast of Brazil deserves a separate conversation. Local residents call it the Island of Snakes. In an area of just over 43 hectares, roughly like 60 football fields, there live from 2,000 to 4,000 golden lancehead vipers, one of the most dangerous snakes on the planet. How did this happen? About 11,000 years ago, the sea level rose, and this piece of land was cut off from the mainland. The snakes that lived there were in complete isolation. There were no natural enemies on the island, but migratory birds were in abundance as prey. The population grew, and the venom became increasingly strong because the bird must be immobilized quickly. Today, the Brazilian Navy officially prohibits civilians from landing on the island. Exceptions are made only for scientists who have special permission. Several tragic cases with people who still tried to get there forever cemented the island's reputation as one of the deadliest places on Earth. Snakes occupy a special place in many religions and cultures of the world. In India, the cobra is a sacred creature and a symbol of the god Shiva. In the temples of some states live real cobras that are treated to milk and decorated with flowers. Believers approach them, bow, at times touch them.
And as a rule, snakes do not touch people in such places. In the American state of Kentucky and a number of other southern states, there are Christian communities practicing snake handling during worship services. Their members are convinced that faith protects them from bites. Some, indeed for years, work with snakes without consequences. Others die. But the practice continues to this day. In Thailand and Myanmar, there are so-called snake monasteries, where Buddhist monks live side by side with pythons. One of the most well-known abodes is in Myanmar, where several large pythons are revered as sacred creatures and live right in the temple, where hundreds of pilgrims come. The tourist aspect of snake sites cannot be underestimated. Many farms and nurseries are open to visitors and earn from tickets, souvenirs and shows. Snake performances in Thailand with cobra charmers have become an integral part of the country's tourism industry. Millions of tourists each year come to watch what, by all logic, they should be most afraid of. It is noteworthy that exactly the combination of fear and attraction makes snakes so appealing to tourists. Psychologists call this a craving for controlled fear. A person wants to experience sharp sensations in a safe environment. A snake nursery or show gives exactly that, the proximity of danger with the feeling that everything is under control. Another important aspect is the role of snake farms in the conservation of endangered species. Many species of snakes found themselves under threat due to the destruction of the familiar habitat, poaching and trade. Part of the nurseries and zoos specifically deal with breeding rare species with subsequent release into nature. The Australian Reptile Park, for example, participates in programs for the conservation of some Australian species. The Bhutantan Institute conducts research in the field of snake biology, which helps to understand how to protect them in nature. Science and environmental protection here go hand in hand with the production of medicines. A separate story is connected with how the attitude of people towards snakes was changing as science developed. Just 100 years ago, the only outcome of a snake bite in most countries was death or amputation of a limb. Today, thanks to antivenoms created in such institutions as Bhutantan and the Queen Saovabha Institute, mortality from bites has sharply decreased. According to the World Health Organization, about 2.5 million people suffer from snake bites in the world every year. Of these, between 80 and 130,000 die. These figures are still huge, but without antivenoms, they would be significantly higher. The fight is not over yet. Especially acute is the problem in the countries of sub-Saharan Africa, in South Asia, and in a number of regions of Latin America. That is where a significant part of the products of such institutions as Bhutantan is directed. The availability of antivenoms in remote areas still remains a serious problem that scientists and charitable organizations are working on. Modern biochemistry opens up more and more possibilities for the use of snake venom. A drug against thrombosis was created from the venom of the gaboon viper. From the venom of cone snails, which, strictly speaking, are not snakes but use a similar mechanism, a powerful painkiller has been obtained. Snake venoms are being studied as a potential basis for the treatment of Parkinson's and Alzheimer's disease. The venom of each snake species is unique in its composition. It contains dozens, and at times hundreds of different proteins, enzymes, and other compounds. Each of them can become the basis for a new medicine. In essence, snakes store in their glands what scientists are only beginning to decipher. This is a huge natural library that humanity has barely begun to leaf through. That is why scientists are so eager to preserve the diversity of snake species. Each vanished species takes with it a unique venom composition that will no longer be possible to restore. From this point of view, a snake farm or nursery is not just a place for keeping dangerous animals, but a kind of storage of priceless natural data. The issue of safety at snake farms and nurseries deserves separate attention. Bites of employees do happen, and at times with a fatal outcome.
Each such institution develops strict working protocols, emergency aid systems, and constantly keeps stocks of antivenoms. Working with snakes requires not daring, but professional discipline. Many leading experts on working with snakes admit that they never lose respect for these animals, no matter how many years they have worked with them. An experienced herpetologist with 30 years of experience treats a cobra with no less attention than a beginner. Exactly this respect is what allows them to stay alive. The attitude of society towards snakes is changing slowly, but it is still changing. In countries where from childhood they tell about the role of snakes in the ecosystem and about the benefits they bring by destroying rodents and pests, people treat them significantly more calmly. Education and enlightenment are doing their job. Fear does not disappear, but it stops being a panic. If you look at all of this together, an unexpected picture emerges. The snake, a creature that people have feared for millennia, turns out to be one of the most useful animals on the planet. It curbs the number of rodents. It stores substances that save people from death. It is part of complex ecosystems without which entire food chains will collapse. Exactly this contradiction, fear and benefit, disgust and admiration, makes snakes so fascinating to study. Man has not just learned to use snakes, he has built around them entire institutions, cultures, traditions, and economies. This is, perhaps, one of the most striking examples of how fear can turn into knowledge. Snake farms, nurseries, scientific institutes, and natural wintering sites. These are all different facets of one phenomenon. When nature, or man, creates suitable conditions, snakes gather together. And behind each such place stands its own story. A story of survival, science, culture, or simply biological necessity. We live on a planet that we share with thousands of species of creatures, each of which occupies its place and performs its role. Snakes are no exception. Fearing them is completely natural. But understanding them, that is already a conscious choice. And those who made it, from the Butantan scientists to the Arula catchers, discovered for humanity something truly important. Write in the comments if you have encountered snakes and how it was. Subscribe to the channel, it is very important for us.